Okay, so this is My Why Part 2. And if you haven't watched the My Why Part 1, I recommend you do that before you listening to Part 2, because it starts actually 13 years ago. 13 years ago, I left the boardroom pretty much broken, and I went to see my doctor at the time and said, I don't feel great. I don't understand what's going wrong with me. And I was pretty much given antidepressants, and all the full detail is in Part 1. But I didn't take no for an answer, and I pushed on and realised that I went through menopause. Over the last year, I have not felt 100%, but I've been working through lots of changes and really building my business. And I had the opportunity to step on stage a second time as a fitness competitor, doing an element of bodybuilding. And at the end of that, I said, right, I want my blood work done. I really want to understand what I'm looking at and how I feel post-process. And I did get my blood work done. And there were some indicators in there saying to me my hormones were pretty non-existent, which I sort of felt because the fatigue in this prep for that competition was significantly greater than the fatigue I had in the previous one in the November. And there was also highlighting in there about my red blood cells were not where they should be, and there was a slight drop in the kidney function. So I thought, okay, great. The feedback from the team who did my bloods from a sporting point of view is go and see your GP. So I made an appointment, went in, sat down and presented the blood work. And the feedback that I got was, okay, are you anxious about that? I said, well, yeah, I am. I said, look, let's do the red blood cells and kidneys in a moment. Look at my hormones. They're pretty much on the floor, and I've got HRT. I don't understand why. And my red blood cells, what's going on here? And the feedback was, are you concerned about this? I said, I'm absolutely concerned about this. You know, it's not the bodybuilding process. We know that's working. What is going on here? And then it was, well, clearly you're quite anxious. I think we should consider an antidepressant. And I was like, oh my God. I said, you are joking me. I said, everything's changed and nothing's changed. 13 years ago, I sat with my problem, what I was trying to share, and was given antidepressants. You know, 8 weeks ago, in 2023, I'm having the same conversation about my health as a midlife woman, and the first reaction is to give me antidepressants. Do you know what? The bit that has changed is the fact that I own my blood work. I knew something wasn't right with my hormones and my red blood cells, and more importantly, I wouldn't take no for an answer. So they said, okay, get more blood work done. And I said, I want to see a female doctor. So got my blood work done, and I got called in to see an amazing female doctor. And we had a look at the hormones, and she said, yes, we definitely need to give you some more hormones. So we worked through a plan with how I was going to source what I needed for that, and I have sourced that. And then when she talked about the red blood cells in the kidney, she goes, they're not where they need to be, Adele. We're going to do another repeat of bloods. Had another repeat of bloods, went back to see her. She said they're falling even further, but the HRT is where it needs to be now. So, okay. So she said, I'm going to put you into special measures and go and get some really deep checks done on your blood work. So I got called to the hospital, had my blood work done, and I got called back in, and they said, Adele, we now know why your red blood cells have fallen and your kidneys have fallen. I said, right, so what is that? And they said to me, you have myeloma. And myeloma is a very rare blood cancer that attacks the bones, creates extra protein and calcium, which is why my kidneys were struggling. So I am now facing a new M word. I've focused on menopause, and now I'm focusing on myeloma. And as a businesswoman, I'm now trying to work through that. The one thing that has been consistent since working with the amazing team, since my diagnosis, which has been formally diagnosed at stage 1, is that my lifestyle, the food, the move, the snooze, the strength training that I have talked about for the last 13 years and for the last 3.5 years full time with the work that I do, first of all, to educate women and also the government and other people about how important it is And that is saving my life, as well as owning my blood work and not accepting no for an answer. So this isn't a choice I would have made, but my lifestyle has saved my life. So I'm even more passionate now about women really owning their own health. Really, there is no quick fix to this. It really is about consistently using the principles of food, move and snooze and strength training and build that muscle for life. All I've been told to do is to carry on doing what I'm doing and just building up the strength and strength and strength while we work through the next few stages and what the next 10 years means for me. So how do I summarise that? Please own your blood work. Understand what's going in your blood work if you don't feel great. Challenge your hormones. Make sure you really understand where they are. Don't take no for an answer. And please focus on your food, your move and your snooze and your strength training. So for me, it's another M word. Menopause matters. And for me now, I've got myeloma matters. But either way, it's all about, bucking the trend and showing that no matter what life throws at you, it's all about being smart, sassy and strong.